Hello, welcome to the first year BHM course of Guru Nanak Institute of Technology, Kolkata. I'm Dr. Indrajit Bose and I shall be your course coordinator for this session. This paper is entitled Business Communication with a paper code of BHM N102. In the course of this paper, we have been looking at various kinds of interpersonal communication, both spoken and written, that takes place in the workplace context or in the workplace situation. I think all of you are aware that you have to prepare for interactions with patients, other administrators, and with members of the public when you are joining the industry, that is, the hospital and healthcare sector in the future. It is to prepare you for your interactions with others that we have got this paper at all. And also, the content of this paper is specially geared towards equipping you with the relevant skills which are needed for your day-to-day interactions with others. Now, this lecture is lecture 11 in the series, and it is based on writing official letters. And it is part of the second module, that is module 2 in this paper. Now, in the course of this lecture, I shall be looking at what kinds of official writing for various purposes you will be required to do, the features of this kind of writing, and also the correspondence that you have to take up with doctors, patients, also with other business contacts, vendors, suppliers, and others. We shall look at the formats of the letters or the templates, the kind of language and tone that you shall take, and also there shall be some remarks about this type of correspondence, the use of electronic correspondence in the present day, and other matters. Now, basically, to begin with, I think you need to have a clear idea of the kind of job or the kind of work that you will be required to do on a day-to-day basis in the future. Obviously, I think you can understand that you will be taking up a lot of work responsibilities when you are performing a managerial or administrative work in your future job prospect or your future industrial position. In a large multi-specialty hospital or anywhere, for example, in the healthcare sector, you will have a very busy time because you will be maintaining and filing away the records of patients. You will be interacting with patients and their relatives regarding their treatment and healthcare. You will also be in charge of the medicines and other supplies which will have to be procured for the hospital from time to time. Also the diagnostics and the machinery over there, and the upkeep, the purchase of these machines, their maintenance. So you will be involved in a lot of correspondence and interaction with both people outside your organization and inside the organization. You might also have to interact with people in the higher management, obviously, and also maybe with the government also for the regulations which are involved in the running of these hospitals. So a lot of correspondence, a lot of official interactions are likely to take place. Now, with whom are you interacting and how will you carry on these interactions? This is the stuff that we have to look at first and foremost. So, first of all, this official correspondence. Obviously, all the official interactions that you will carry on are opposed to any kind of private interactions or private correspondence which you might carry on with your friends or relatives or other people that you know within the organization, which are in the nature of unofficial interactions. For example, you might have some phone conversations, or you might have some email exchanges or WhatsApp messages exchanges with other people, even inside the organization, which is of a personal nature or it's of just of a friendly nature. But that doesn't come within official correspondence or writing. All the interactions which are of a strictly official nature relating to the administration or running of the organization, that comes within the parameters of your official correspondence and interaction. So over here, all the kinds of writing, both hard copy and electronic, which is required to sustain, to renew, and to maintain the relations between the hospital and the patients, the hospital and the doctors and other healthcare workers. Like, for example, you might have a team of physiotherapists or medical technicians or various other people, dietitians and others. Again, between the hospital and the members of the admin, the hospital and the government, and the hospital and other business vendors and suppliers. You will have an extensive network of these interactions with people and businesses, uh, both those who supply medicine, life-saving drugs, other kinds of pharmaceuticals and medicines, and of course, the suppliers of medical equipment of various kinds, both machinery as well as other kinds of maybe portable or small equipment. So their number is also fairly large. So you will have to maintain all this interaction. So it's quite a challenging task. So you will have to be equal to it, and you will have to have a very good and systematic filing system to maintain all this correspondence in an updated manner. Now, I will look at some examples of different kinds of official correspondence. One type will be the inquiries that you will receive from time to time related to health services from patients and their relatives. So this will be one type I will look at. Another that I will look at will be letters to admin and to the government, obviously, which will relate to various administrative matters of the hospital. And the third type that I shall be looking at will be the letters to your business contacts, or rather to the suppliers of medical equipment, machinery, your vendors, all these things, right? So these are three different types of official correspondence that I shall be looking at. Now, before we look at the templates or we look at the formats, first of all, I think we should try and recognize what the features of official writing are or what they might be. First of all, as far as the content is concerned, it is related strictly to the work of running the hospital or the healthcare facility which you are managing or taking care of. So the content is specifically work related. Yes, and that is what you shall be concentrating on from the beginning to the end of the letter that you are writing, or if it is an email, the email that you are writing. The vocabulary that is used in this correspondence is also specifically subject related vocabulary. It is related to healthcare. So you might be using a number of terms, professional terms, which are related to healthcare and also to patient, or business services. So as far as the vocabulary is concerned also, there is specialized vocabulary which you as a professional should be adept in using. Now, for formatting and style, you will follow clear-cut stylistic and formatting guidelines. I should be coming to these in a minute. Also, as I have mentioned, since this is a large volume of correspondence spanning over a fairly long period of time, and there are numerous letters and emails and other kinds of records going to and fro, you need to maintain a systematic record. So the filing and archiving of this correspondence in a systematic way is very, very important. So you might need to maintain copies of them in a file or a dossier and label them according to the type of correspondence it is, or the year, or the dates. You can also maintain electronic copies of these in folders, or maintain copies on CD-ROM, which are labeled and stored in a safe place. So, but in any case, you have to maintain and a good and systematic archive of this correspondence. So electronic copies might be preserved, but you need the hard copies as well, especially for many important letters and contracts, letters from the government, official letters. They are very important, so you would need hard copy as well. As far as the features or characteristics of this kind of correspondence is concerned, conciseness is a very important trait. The letters are concentrated on work or work-related matters, and they are strictly to the point, with no extraneous discussion or nothing extraneous to the actual subject of the letter. So they are concise. Also, they're very clear, because clarity is another important trait. We do not use ambiguous language or language which is diffuse or unclear in any way. Use simple terms and expressions as far as is practicable, but of course you will have to use the professional terms related to business or healthcare in the course of the correspondence. Also, it is complete in all details. All the specific details related to previous correspondence or inquiries, the dates, times, and places. If it relates to business, then the prices, market prices, taxes, and other details. If it relates to patient services, then the type of plan or the program which is referred to, again, the pricing and other details, modes of payment, all these need to be given in a proper, arranged, and systematic way. And it shall be your job to do this in the course of the correspondence. So the content of this kind of official writing is work-related. The vocabulary is business or patient-related. It is very concise. It is clear and unambiguous and complete in all its details. And it is properly formatted. Also, a proper and systematic record, either of hard copies or electronic copies, needs to be maintained and archived. Now, we shall look at the purposes for this kind of writing. First of all, as I have said, that there can be various kinds of patient queries that you will have to handle. These queries can relate to different types of hospital services that you are offering, like OPD or consultations by specialists or operations of different kinds, operative care, post-operative care, rehabilitation, therapy, and so on. Again, diagnostics, different kinds of testing facilities which your hospital is providing, patient care of various kinds, obviously, emergency or critical care, trauma care, post-operative care, palliative care, all kinds. Billing details, obviously you will have to look at the financial aspect as well, relating to patient billing, other kinds of medical transactions, and bills made by doctors also, and the medical insurance that different patients have. So again, the settlement of claims, transaction with these third-party insurers and others, and various kinds of medical services. So there are lots and lots of different queries from patients, from potential patients, their family members, which will come in and you will have to reply back to all of them. Then there are administrative services. Again, this can be another reason why you have to write or maintain the official correspondence. So you have to look after the infrastructure of the hospital, but actually you are not doing the looking after, but you shall be supervising the people, those who are in charge of maintenance. So if they have any specific requirements regarding replacement or repair work or renewal of maintenance contracts or other kinds of needs, then they will get in touch with you so that you can forward their requests to the higher management. So you are acting as the intermediary between these people looking after the infrastructure, the service personnel, and the higher administration. Also, records, both medical records and financial records, billing of various kinds, the stocks and supplies management. So all the records of the stocks, the medical stocks that is there in the hospital. So the people in charge of the stores, so if they have requirements, obviously they will have from time to time. So you will have to take care of the regular supplies and see that the vendors and suppliers are supplying them the stocks at the needed times. So for all this, you should have to maintain an official correspondence. Again, there can be business-related queries and replies of those with the stockists and suppliers for the infrastructural maintenance, upgradation of the infrastructure. So you shall be connected with various people in the medical industry and the pharmaceutical industry, the suppliers of medicines and life-saving drugs, equipments, and so on. So you shall have various queries via letters or emails asking for information of various kinds, and also you have to give information to them. Also, there will be various complaints about problems which you will have to forward to the higher authorities, and also you may have to pass forward certain suggestions or suggested solutions to the problems of various kinds. So do not think that you will be always in a position to suggest solutions, but you may have the responsibility of offering suggestions of various kinds to the administration and the higher management, and they will then take care of the issue and tell you or delegate the responsibility to you of what you have to do. So all these can be a lot of reasons why you will have to engage in official correspondence. Now, what about the formatting or the template? Now, there are certain layouts which are very easy and convenient to use and which we should learn about before we go into the business of the content part of the writing. Now, there is the block layout first, which is quite convenient. What is important in the block layout is the left margin alignment. As you can see in the sample letter, which is put on this slide, that the entire contents of the letter are aligned towards the left margin. And there is no punctuation in the letter except for the salutation, the complimentary close, and the message line. So this is the block layout. We also have the modified block layout where we have a heading, complimentary close, and the signature block aligned vertically with the right margin. So you can see that here in the letter that is given as a sample of this type of layout, we have a business letter with a modified block style. Here is the address block, the date, the heading, the entire heading, and till the end, the signature block aligned vertically with the right margin. Okay, so this is the modified block layout. So here actually we have the body of the letter which is aligned to the left, and the address block, the heading, the complimentary close, and the signature, the last part of the letter, these are aligned to the right, whereas the body of the letter is aligned to the left. So this is the modified block layout. We also have the semi-block layout. So what is that? The start of each paragraph is indented from the left margin. Like here, this is the introductory paragraph, the next one, and the concluding paragraph. They are all indented from the left margin. And the letter really does not have any kind of left alignment except that the address block at the top, the heading, is aligned towards the left. And the signature block below is aligned to the right. So is the date. So this is the semi-block layout. Here we have the format. The sender's address comes first, then the date. As far as the date is concerned, you can follow DDMMYY or MMDDYY. Here it is December 7th, 2017. So MMDDYY. Right. And then we have the recipient's address, the name first, Ms. Jane Fernandez, designation, president, then the entire official address. Fabulous Company, 100 Broad Avenue, White Plains, New York, etc. Then the salutation, you will also have the subject line over here, then the body of the letter, then complimentary close, signature with the phone number also given over there. If there is any enclosure, that comes below that. If there is postscript, then that will come below that. A postscript will include any other details which are not mentioned in the body of the letter, can be included in the postscript. But it's not generally the fashion to include postscripts in official letters nowadays. So it's better to end with the enclosures. And if you have several enclosures in the letter, then please number them in sequence so that we can keep a record of all the enclosures which are being sent with the letter. Okay, sorry. Now let us look at the different types of letters. Okay, this is the first type, the letters to patient queries. The purpose of this letter is to address inquiries related to healthcare or services, which may be related to their availability or pricing or modes of payment or discounts and special offers. So let's say that you have certain healthcare packages for cardiac patients. So what is the content of these packages? And suppose I want to avail them within the next fortnight. So will I be able to avail them? Do I have to make a prior booking? So what is the price? Are you offering any discounts? What are the modes of payment? And other details like this. Now the format will be that of the official letter, and the style is that I will use simple style, business related, use healthcare and business vocabulary, and follow the norms of clarity and conciseness as far as possible. Now let's look at the sample of this kind of a letter. Now the subject line of this kind of letter is, of course, since I'm considering a reply to a query which has come in, so you say clearly that it's a reply to the subject of the letter which was addressed to us as a query. So it is obviously very short and to the point and mentions precise specifications with no extra details, all given in a short single sentence. Let's see, there are some examples given over here. Like reply to an inquiry regarding the availability of color Doppler scanning, or reply to inquiry related to the OPD registration for outstation patients. Again, another example is reply to an inquiry relating to payment options for in-house patient investigation, or reply to an inquiry relating to facilities and packages for open heart surgery, or reply to an inquiry about availability of gastroenterologists for pediatric care. Okay, so these are some of the sample subject lines of this kind of a letter to patient queries. Now, the parts of this letter. This is the opening and the body of a sample letter. Let us read. This is to reply to your query regarding facilities and packages for open heart surgery currently available. We are a multi-specialty hospital with a cardiac care unit with top consultant cardiologists and advanced cardiac care. As informed by you, your husband has an immediate need of open heart surgery. We can offer pre-booking facilities for July. Our team of cardiac surgeons and support staff will provide a smooth surgery. Our packages cost between 1.5 to 2 lakhs. Please book immediately. Kindly let us know of your medical insurance details. So we can see that in the introduction to this letter, the purpose is very clear. It's a reply for a query regarding facilities and packages for open heart surgery. And the person who is writing needs immediate open heart surgery for her husband. And then elaborates the subject in details. So there in the body of the letter, it's a multi-specialty hospital with highly advanced facilities for cardiac care, with a cardiac care unit. They're top consultant doctors. So you have to make a booking for that. And there's a team of surgeons, and the cost of the surgery is also mentioned between 1.5 to 2 lakhs. And finally, is asking about medical insurance details. So this is the body of the letter. Now we shall look at the closing. Kindly let us know about the patient details, the surgeon and care preferences. Looking forward to hearing more from you. Sincerely yours, Mukesh Apte, Borivali Hospital, Mumbai. So there's a closing request about more details about the patient. Obviously, the medical history will be required, and also the kind of surgeon and post-operative care that the patient and family is interested in. And then there's a complimentary clause, and the sender's signature and contact details are given. In addition to the address, the phone number can also be given. Okay. Now, we have a second type of letter, a letter to the administrative personnel or the higher administration and management. This is the second type of letter you may be required to write. Now, the purpose of this letter is to write a report about some kind of administrative issue, so which may be related to some infrastructural problems or to provide an update about regular services like OPD, patient services, the services of the nursing staff, other service staff, technicians, and so on. Also, you can report about billing, patient billing or doctor's billing, and various financial matters like taxes, for example. Also, there can be reports regarding medical stock and other kinds of supplies. Now, the format will be that of the official letter. The style will be that of a crisp style of formal reporting, and it is intended to highlight about administrative issues. There's a clear statement of the functioning and problems. And you will advise the management to opt for certain choices, obviously, or take certain decisions. So please remember that you are not in a prescriptive role. You cannot tell the management or urge the management of what to do, but you can highlight to them the importance of the situation and the advisability of taking certain kinds of action. Without urging the management specifically to take certain kinds of action, you will point out to them the necessity or the importance of taking that so that they delegate the responsibility to you to take certain action. And of course, you might advise, but you cannot prescribe anything, and you have to accept whatever the higher management tells you to do. So if what they are telling you to do runs contrary to what you are advising them, you will even have to accept that and implement the decisions of the higher management. So please remember that your role is only that of somebody who can advise or prescribe. Now, the sample letter, the subject line. Let's look at a few subject lines to see what they are like. Report on OPD functioning from 1st to 31st July 2019. Regarding problems in the lighting system in Operation Theatre Number 2. Report on the nursing staff shortage in Puja week. Patient outstanding report as on 21/10/2019. Okay, so there's a sharp, eye-catching opening. It highlights the problem or issue. Like, for example, the second one, the problems in the lighting system, the Operation Theatre, that's a problem. And also the third one, the nursing staff shortage. So that's also a problem. But the first one and the fourth one, that is report on the OPD functioning and the patient outstanding report, well, they are not actually problematic issues. They are just, you can say, routine or regular updates about certain aspects of the running of the hospital. So the various problems, or if it is even a regular update, that has to be highlighted in the subject line, and it has to be short and objective, basically. Now, the opening of this kind of letter, let's see with a sample letter. This is a letter which is written about the problems in the lighting system in one of the operation theaters, which is creating a lot of difficulties in carrying on operations in the busy operation theater. So you are writing to the higher management to request some prompt action. Our hospital has always prided itself on the cutting-edge surgical equipment and lighting. Unfortunately, the Philips Intelligent CDS lighting system in Operation Theatre 2 is now partially functioning, causing great inconvenience to our team of surgeons. So you are focusing on the problem and also suggesting that some kind of solution needs to be taken because it is causing inconvenience to surgeons. So how will they carry on the surgeries over there? So the opening of this kind of letter obviously goes to the root of the problem and highlights the nature of the problem and the gravity of the situation, right? Now the body of this letter, which will give further details about this issue. Operation Theatre 2 is kept busy throughout the week with at least 2 or 3 operations daily. As critical surgeries are performed, the absence of adequate lighting is a serious problem. A makeshift arrangement is currently in place, but the system has to be replaced at the earliest. So, as various surgeries are performed regularly over there, and it's a busy place, so you need a proper lighting system in place, and without the system, naturally, it is creating various difficulties. Now, to carry on, as the last quotation received from Jalal and Sons was the lowest quote for Philips Intelligent CDS lighting systems at rupees 35,720, VAT included, a purchase order is needed for processing. Kindly authorize the same, enclosing the quotations for your ready reference. Okay. So, not only do you have to highlight the nature of the problem and the gravity of the situation, but also indicate what sort of action needs to be taken. So obviously here it's a question of replacing the defective lighting system with a proper functioning lighting system or new one. And here the supplier of the hospital, Jalal and Sons, they are mentioned by name, and the quotations received from the various suppliers, here they are given as a reference. Yashia Brothers, Jalal and Sons, and Magnum Enterprises. There are 3 quotation prices of 40,123, 35,720, and 37,823. So the lowest quote obviously is by Jalal and Sons, so that is the preferred one that is indicated, and the terms of advance, etc., terms of payment for the suppliers, that is also provided. So you will give all these details. Notice how nice and detailed the cross section of quote prices is, so that the administration can take prompt action. So you will be making it easy for those in the administration to take prompt action on this issue. And the closing of this letter is a reiterated need of offering a solution and to replace the lighting system so that the problem in Operation Theatre 2 can be solved. And again, we have the signature block, we have the complimentary close and the signature block giving the name, designation of the official, and we can also include the phone number over there. The third type of letter that we have is a letter to the business contacts, like the medical suppliers, the stockists, and so on. So the purpose, obviously, is to acquire stocks and supplies, specify the terms of purchase, the payment modes, and stipulate payment within a certain date. The format is that of the official letter. The style is written in a clear, objective, business-like manner, clearly stating the facts and asking for prompt action. Now, let's look at the subject line of this kind of letter. So here are a few sample subject lines. Purchase order for 323 packages of life-saving drugs. Placing order for 17 Daikin 3-liter split ACs. Immediate purchase of medical equipment of Rs 2.5 lakhs. Complaint regarding delay in delivery of surgical stores. Acknowledging receipt of DS scan machine on 29/11/2019. So there are different kinds of subjects, as we can see, stipulating the orders which are placed or giving purchase orders, also complaints regarding defective equipment that has been received, and so on. Now here we take a look at an example Now, this is a letter of complaint. Now, here I would like to say that just like in business letters, we have sales letters, letters of complaint and adjustment. So you might also be required to write letters of complaint when you are writing this third type of official letter for your stockists, suppliers, and other business contacts. So we will follow the norms of business correspondence over there. Now here, first of all, the specifics of purchase are given in the introductory paragraph. This is to inform you that the DNS scan machine purchased on 12/6/2019, the bill number is given, has a manufacturing defect as a result of which it is unable to perform its scanning functions. So we have right at the very outset, the problem is highlighted. Then more details are given after this in the body of the letter. When the scan machine is switched on, it is observed that the LED indicator is glowing red, but the machine is unable to operate. As this probably indicates a manufacturing defect, it is my earnest request that you immediately look into this matter. So we need to give the details of the problem so that corrective action can be taken by the company. Then the closing of this letter. Considering the inconvenience suffered by the hospital and keeping in mind the so this is the closing part of this letter, but before this, we have to have the claim being made. So there are two types of claim which can be made. One is that of a replacement. So keeping in view the nature of the problem, the inconvenience suffered by the diagnostic unit at the hospital, I would request you to kindly replace the defective scan machine with a properly functioning one. So this is a claim which is made for replacing the machine, the defective machine, with a properly functioning machine. Or else you can also ask for a refund, but that is an extreme case. As the purchase of this defective scan machine is seriously inconveniencing our patients, I would request you to kindly appropriate your product and give us monetary compensation on the same amounting to the purchase price. We would request you to make this refund to us at the earliest opportunity. So either asking for a replacement or a refund. Yes, now the closing of this letter. Considering the inconvenience suffered by the hospital and keeping in mind the consistently good reputation for quality products you have in the market, I trust that you will accept my request for a DNS scan machine of the same model to replace the defective product. Looking forward to your early reply. Again, there is a complimentary close and the signature block at the end. So this is the third type of letter. And in this case, it is a letter of complaint, which is addressed to the supplier, which has supplied the defective DNS scan machine, who is asking for corrective action, either a replacement or a refund. Now, you can remember that all these types of letters are hard copy documents, but nowadays, as I have said, they are often replaced by electronic copies or emails. And many of these inquiries can be met over the phone, but of course, you will also have to write letters often, as well as addressing telephonic inquiries. But the content obviously will be of the same nature. Now, you will have to maintain and archive all this correspondence in a systematic way so that the day-to-day work of the hospital can go on in a smooth way. So it's a big responsibility with which you are entrusted. So I hope that you will fulfill all these responsibilities in a fitting manner and maintain all these official contacts and interactions in a proper way. So I certainly hope that this lecture has indicated to you the nature of the official correspondence that you will have to maintain. So let us hope that we will move positively in that direction. With this hope, I would like to end this lecture and say thanks and sign off with this. So we will meet again for the time. Bye from my side.